wanted to be having. Can you talk us through the decision from your side of things?
Yeah, no, we pretty much we decided yesterday, and it comes down to like Dean's done great for us in terms of everything. He's been very professional. He's worked incredibly hard, and he came in at the end of last year and changed things around. I think he deserved the chance, and it was a gamble. It was always going to be a gamble because of experience as a manager, and we've always thought that was important. But Dean, he deserved his chance, and we gave it to him. But we had to look at the overall picture, and we had to look at our concerns with the season and the performances. And I think we started okay. I think performance-wise we started okay, and I think people saw that. But once those performances waned off a little bit, we had serious concerns.
How long have those concerns been going on? Was it on the cards for the last couple of weeks and the last couple of performances that he might leave? And how much of a role did the Mansfield result play in that?
I think you're always talking about it as a ownership group and as a club. We're always talking about it, and with James, but you're always talking about performance, aren't you? And you're always talking about results. So those conversations come up anyway, even when you're doing well. So there's always been discussion, but obviously Saturday didn't help. It was a poor performance, and it was an embarrassing performance. And I think Dean said that as well after himself. It's not like Dean looked at that and went, yeah, that was okay. It wasn't acceptable, and the players. And I'm going to go up to the training ground myself today and speak to the players and talk about the decision and talk about what our expectations are and the disappointment that we have, and and share the anger and sense of that, and you look at 500 Northampton fans going up there on Saturday and witnessing that as well, and your heart goes out to them, because I'm sitting there watching it, and we're watching the same thing, and the players are experiencing it, and everyone's experiencing it. So we had to make a decision. Results points wise, we just haven't done what we were hoping to do. We have a big budget for this league, and the players have to look at themselves as well. And I think the fans are seeing that, and I think everyone was willing Dean to do well. He's a great guy, a professional, and organised, and we're all willing him to do well. But results and points didn't come, and we have to look at as well. Once the performances have dropped off as well, that became a big concern.
You obviously mentioned the players there. The record over the past 13 months doesn't read well. The fact there's 4 managers, but the common denominator has been the players. Is there an issue there?
I think and I'm happy to talk about. It's not actually 4 managers over 13 months, but over the sort of 2.5 year period, yeah. And the reality is we brought Rob in, and Rob had a good start. And I don't think there was a common denominator across all those managers either. I think everyone had a bit of a different impact, and you look at Rob came in, started very well, and then really struggled, and we made the change. And actually, Justin did well. Justin did exactly what we asked Justin to do, and that was to keep us up, because and for us to finish where we did. I don't think we recognised how well we did that year in terms of budget and finishing where we finished. We probably had a higher expectation of where we should have been, and we should have maybe looked at that. And then Justin didn't have a great start, and then we had the 5U Sport situation, and that changed the dynamic quite a bit at the club, and rightly or wrongly, we'll see that over the next sort of few years. But that changed the dynamic, so that change was made. And even when Jimmy came in, that seemed like a sensible appointment, and he made changes, and he won the first few games, and then that waned off, and then we did well in January, and then it fell off a cliff. Sorry, and so that was an issue. And then Dean came in and made initially started very well, but we have to be a bit concerned. Yeah, we have to be concerned about our league position. There's no two ways about that, and the players are part of that and are a main part of that. And I think there's some things that they've been maybe let get away with, and we need to find somebody now to come in and really sort of ruffle the feathers in that group and get performances and get results out of them.
Obviously, Dean's now gone. The performances haven't been good for a while. In your opinion, is there anything else that needs to change aside from the manager within the club?
I've said it before. The club itself is, everyone we talk to, the club itself is operating, fine, and we've obviously had some discussions about selling or investment, etc. And we've actually had people say to us, we don't see any areas in the club that, apart from on the pitch, that we can make improvements. And it's almost scared a couple of people off because they don't see any areas. Commercial do well, youth development's doing well. All the sort of stuff. But the stuff on the the stuff on the football side has been poor. We're football people. We come to games, and on our Saturdays get ruined like everyone else's when results aren't good. So. I think Dean did make a change in the performances. I think since Dean came in, he did make a change in the performances, but we still weren't getting the results. And then once those, and as I said, once you don't get results and you don't get the performances, that's an area of concern.
You mentioned it briefly there. How has this affected? Has it affected at all the potential sale of investors? Been affected at all by the decision?
I think. Look. We take a view. We always try to take a bold view on things, and myself and David and Mike have spoken in detail about this, and we've looked at. We said we've got to fix the football side of the club, no matter what happens over the next sort of 6-12 months. We've been very open, and sometimes that comes back and bites you. And everyone says they want openness, but sometimes it does come back and bite you. And maybe we shouldn't have been so open, and maybe we should have said, But we have been open, and we've said this is the position we're in. But we've always said in that the football club's not a risk. We are looking for investment. We are looking for that, but. No way, shape or form that there's any issues within the football club financially, etc. So we're committed to doing what our responsibilities are as owners, and we'll continue doing that. And this is part of that process. We needed to fix the football side. We need to fix the football side, and we need to find somebody quickly to come in and fix that and help us fix that.
On the football side, there you mentioned it. Have you got any ideas who's going to come in? Have you approached anyone?
Yeah, we do. We do have we do have some ideas about what the type of manager we want, and we are in discussions. But we understand. I go back to when I brought Chris into Oxford and go back all that time, and I look at what were the reasons why we brought Chris in at the time. We looked at experience in the league. That was an important factor of what we looked at, and the club had gone through a relegation and was struggling a bit, and we just looked at someone that had managed in the league, and that was important. That's important for us now, and it's someone that can come in who wants the job, wants to be part of the club, wants to be part of Northampton, and can hit the ground running and shake up, and someone, and again with a bit of a ruthless side. Someone like, again, I've spoken to Chris in the last couple of days, and someone like that sort of ruthless, someone that's not afraid to ruffle the feathers and make big decisions on players and etc. etc. So that's the type of manager we're looking for.
Is it more of a short-term focus at the minute to prioritise staying in the league?
It depends what we consider short-term, but I think we're looking for someone to come in similar to what we did with Justin in terms of Justin had short-term targets when he came in, and that was and we're look. There's a reality to all of this. We're angry, we're frustrated that we have a budget that we do, and we committed to that budget, and we accepted that budget, and which we think is a good budget for this league, and we're talking about staying up. That's a big frustration for us, and because it is coming out of our pocket, and that does sometimes make, when you see performances like Saturday, that does make you angry, it does make you frustrated, but we have to kind of get over that a little bit, and so would it be an agreement? Would there be some incentives for ensuring we're in this division? Yeah, I think so. Would it be possibly looking at a contract till the end of the season? Yeah, we've got that focus. That is our focus right now, is to get ourselves out of the position, and then we can look from there.
Final one, tomorrow night, obviously, with Bury coming to town. Who is going to be in charge of that one?
Well, we haven't concluded any discussions yet, so at the moment Todd is taking training, and with the view that he takes the game on tomorrow night. But if some of those discussions, that may change over the next sort of 24 hours, and we'll update everybody at that point if it does. But as it stands right now, we've got a game to get prepared for. And look, I know Dean's gone, but the rest of the team, management team up there at the training ground are more than capable of preparing the side for a game. So, and the players, again, will take a long, hard look at themselves. I have to say, and I talk to fans a lot, and the first few comments that I got from fans, on Facebook were about, I hope, even one said, I hope the players can sleep tonight, because that's the focus. Everyone's disappointed with Dean, and we are, and it's not just all about the players. Look, we take collective responsibility. I take responsibility. David and Mike and everybody, James, we all take responsibility of this football club. It's not about, and we now, and that's what I'm going to be talking to the players about, is their responsibilities as well. That's important, and we have to take it. Look, I'm going to take, we're going to take criticism about managers and changing managers, but sometimes you've got to make bold decisions. I think the one in the first year paid off. The one in the second year didn't as such, but in terms of when we were in League One, the one in the second year didn't pay off, but at times we thought it did, and we made a bold decision in January when we continued investing in the playing side, and that seemed to pay off up until the middle of February, but in the end it didn't, and so we had to, so we'll make those decisions, but we've got to get it right on the pitch.
So is it safe to say the appointment coming up will be less of a bold decision and more of a safety first?
Sorry, so you have to explain.
Because you said there, obviously, you've made some bold decisions over the past couple of managerial appointments. Is it safe to say that it'll be a kind of a safety first rather than a risky appointment this time?
Oh, it'll be an experienced appointment, yeah. It won't be. There's a lot of candidates out there that you would look at, and younger candidates, less experienced candidates. I don't think there's never a safe appointment, is there? Let's be honest. They'll all have a boldness in their own way in terms of, or risk associated to them, because it's not an easy thing. And we've gone through a couple of transitions as a club in this time. We've gone through an increase in budget, and rightly or wrongly, and we look at that and we evaluate that all day long. But we've gone through that increase in player costs, and we've gone through that, and we're coming out the other side. We're trying to come out the other side of that, and maybe we with that influx of money, whilst it's exciting and everyone gets excited by signings that you make, it might not be the best thing for this football club at any given time. So we'll be looking at that, and we'll be reviewing that, but it will be definitely, we're looking for an experienced candidate, and we'll be talking to experienced candidates.
Kelvin, thank you very much.
Thank you.